Welcome back. Now, there aren't many people who would volunteer for a trip to the Gulf right now, but our next guest is preparing to make his second trip there in a matter of weeks. He's already broadcast from HMS Jupiter and now plans to take messages of support from friends and families to our troops in Saudi Arabia. As one of Britain's top DJs, his daily Radio 1 show attracts millions of listeners. Please meet the face behind the voice, ladies and gentlemen, Simon Bates.
Do your worst.
Yes, I'll try. Top of my list of places not to go to would be the Gulf. Why are you going back?
Because Nicaragua is closed, and because I think it's very important, whatever your politics about what's happening in the Gulf, I think it's very important to support the people who are there. Not just the troops, but also the people who are working on the industrial sites, and also the oil sites in Dubai, Saudi Arabia, up in Jordan as well.
Does it mean a lot to them?
Yeah, hell of a lot. It means a hell of a lot to know they're not forgotten. And I think it means a hell of a lot to know that they're cared about. The politics are a side issue, Matt.
So what are the chances of you not coming back? Is it that easy to slip in and out?
Well, it depends if Tony Blackburn's there. I would say the chance, thank you, but slow. Pace it up a bit. Thank you. I think the chances of my coming back, unfortunately, from some people's point of view, is pretty good, because it isn't that bad. It's business as usual, and also the British forces look after you, and you're pretty safe with that. If it was the American forces, I'd be worried, because they have a tendency sometimes to be a bit gung-ho, but the British forces are very straightforward in their approach to everything.
Now, aside of your trips around the world for Radio 1, perhaps most famous for your daily Our Tunes spot, which is listened to by something like 11 million listeners.
That's right.
Why do you think it's so popular?
I don't know, but I think it's very similar to anyone who cares about what's happening across the other side of the street, and anyone who wants to know what is going on in someone else's life. And the truth is that if you're sitting gossiping, as you used to at Sky News, right, and you sit gossip about who's having an affair with who, about what is going on in somebody else's life, you're riveted by other people's experiences. I think it's as simple as that.
And yet I heard that you were trying to kill it off.
Yeah, I got fed up with it. I got fed up with the abuse, to be honest, because you do tend from, for example, The Times, an ill-informed, badly produced newspaper, if ever there was one. Thank you.
Any attention.
Thank you. You tend to get the kind of criticism that places it in a class environment. The kind of people who say that Sky Television is a working-class television station. You know what I'm talking about? The kind of thing that dismisses Sky News as being a temporary phenomenon. That sort of criticism, after a while, gets to you, and I got fed up with it.
Now, look, you're 73 now. Do you not ever feel that you're a little bit too old for this Radio 1 DJ?
Well, I'm talking to the man who retired from Sky News because he couldn't keep up with the pace. I don't know. You'd have to ask the listeners that. You'd have to ask the audience that. I think, in the end, they make the decisions about all of us. This show is coming off tonight. Is that a decision of an audience?
Oh, I would like to think not.
I don't think so either.
But there are other days when you go and you have to keep the good humour, you have to make people feel in touch and whatever. Other days when you go and think, oh, God, the last thing I want to do is this show.
Do you enjoy your job?
I do.
Do you love it? Earlier on, we were in the bar and you were saying you got such a buzz out of meeting people, and out of talking to people, and out of experiencing other people's ideas. It's the same in radio.
So what's the secret to it? Just the fact that you love doing it?
I love doing it. I get to go all over the world. I mean, the BBC is very generous. They're not with the expenses. I get to go all over the world. I've been, South America, Latin America, Australia, China, Japan, Soviet Russia, you name it, I've been there. And if you don't enjoy that, then there's got to be some lack of life in you. And that's all because of Radio 1.
Well, Simon, they've cut us back savagely, which I think is cruel. But before we let you go, I think we have to have a very subtle plug. Are you there? Are you there?
Thanks, Matt.
For the book, Our Tune, Simon Bates. Ladies and gentlemen.
Big fan of that. It makes sob. I'm sobbing every morning when I reach that. It's great. Great part of your show. I love it. I'll tell you what we're going to do now. One of the tune that I want to hear. We actually had a lot of requests in to hear Jane Alexander sing with the band.
Johnson and Teddy Parr. We'll do my palms if I cross it with silver later on.
Gold.
And it'll be much better when they plug his guitar in. Now then, after the break, we'll be meeting a man from Sheffield, no he didn't, who started life as a club bouncer. He stayed with nightlife and has become a friend to the stars all over the world, which is why he hates this man. Peter Stringfellow.
And if you saw the show a few weeks ago, and remember Brian Farrington, the mechanic from Newcastle, just standing away there, Matt, with the amazing falsetto voice. Hey, we're like twins, ain't we?
Like Matt and Jeff, if you ask
You'll
me.
be delighted, as we are, to know that we've asked him back for his only second ever television appearance.
Well, so join us after the break for all that and more. Take it away, Ray.